When you look at the best players in the world, they seem to be able to keep this lead arm very straight throughout the golf swing. Now, when they do this, they create a beautiful arc to the hand. So the golf swing looks like it has this amazing width. It allows them to generate more power. It also helps them generate more consistency. Now, when you look at most amateurs, they look very, very different. The arm sort of collapses. One of the biggest ones is this chicken wing on the way through. So in today's video, I'm going to show you how to fix this. Now, before we jump into the video, please give the channel a like and subscribe. It helps me produce more content like this so I can help you play some better golf. So at address, their lead arm, we will see them have 0 degrees of arm bend. Now, as they take it back to this takeaway position, again, that lead arm stays dead straight. That's why they get that beautiful wide takeaway position. As they then go to the top of the backswing, we will see this left arm start to actually have a tiny bit of bend. So it'll get to around 6 degrees of left arm bend at the top of the backswing. So there is a subtle amount. As they come down to the delivery position, it'll again be about 6 degrees. As they come into impact, it'll actually be about 8 degrees. You will see just a tiny bit of bend. It won't be sort of locked out right here. There will be a tiny bit of arm bend. But the interesting thing is, if this is 8 degrees, as they then come through into the release, it goes back to 4 degrees. So how do we train this? Well, we're going to just work through this in sequence. So the first part that we're going to start with is the setup position. So how should this left arm hang at address? Well, what I want you to do is actually just hold your left arm out in front of you and just kind of lock it out as straight as you can right there and make a thumb up position. Now from here, all I want you to do is just twist your arm, and it will mainly come through your forearm, but just twist your arm so this thumb sort of points kind of at a 45-ish degree angle, maybe a little shy of 45 degrees. Now from there, just let your arm then just bend forwards and just let your arm then just hang straight down right here. So you can still see my arms locked out. It's twisted in at a 45 degree angle. Now from this position then, just grab the club, make sure that face is nice and square, and then grip it with your left arm. So now we've got this in a beautiful foundation. If you get this right, what this is going to do is it's going to help you generate that width in the takeaway, get those good positions throughout the swing, but it's also going to allow you to actually be able to release the arm. So now we've got that right, now let's jump into the backswing. So how do we keep this left arm beautifully straight in the backswing? Now, a lot of golfers, they try and focus on the left arm, but in my experience as a coach, it really is a case of the left arm follows what 2 things are happening. It follows what the body rotation is doing, and it follows what the trail arm is doing. Let me explain that. So if I set up to the golf ball here and I turn back, but I really don't actually turn that much. Maybe I lateral sway, I get into some groovy positions. What then happens is my body sort of gets to here. And because I'm not turning, I'm not able to finish my swing. So then my trail arm is going to overfold. And from there, what does that do to the left arm? It actually collapses the left arm. So often these 2 things are really linked. It's either the trail arm overfolding that causes that lead arm to break down, because it's very hard to keep the lead arm straight if the trail arm is overfolding. And the second thing is often the trail arm overfolds because your body isn't actually rotating the correct amount. So the first thing we're going to do is work on a rotation drill. This is going to help you keep your left arm connected to your chest, and from here it's going to ensure that you actually turn correctly to the top of the backswing. So the first thing you're going to do is take your golf club and grip it with your left hand just below the club head. This just makes it a lot lighter. Now from here, let your arm hang down in that good position and make an L shape with your hand. So your thumb is going to go into the sternum and your fingers are going to go into the edge of your bicep right here. Now, make a backswing and turn, and keep that connection the whole time right there between your thumb in your chest and your fingers in your bicep. If you're doing this incorrectly, you will find that your arm will want to pull in and your fingernails will sort of dig into your bicep. It will be uncomfortable and it shouldn't feel that. It should just feel like a light pressure. Also, if your arm sort of gets too far away from you this way, you'll find that it sort of gets disconnected. That's especially the case if you overswing. So by keeping this connection, it keeps everything synchronized and it forces you to turn a lot more. Then from there, once I've done that, grab the club, hit a shot, and try and repeat that same feeling. Left arm hanging straight down. Let's get that nice turn all the way to the top. Perfect, that's going to help me keep that left arm straighter. Let's now tackle the trail arm. As it turns to the top, the best players in the world do not fold their arm past 90 degrees. So what you're going to do is rather than grip it left above right, you're actually going to go left below right. If I set up here, left arm in that straight position, I'm going to turn to the top and I'm going to feel like my right arm is as wide as possible right there. You can see as I do that, it forces me to turn and it gets me in a great position at the top of the backswing. You can see my elbow is loaded, so it's sort of pointing slightly down. My forearm's in a great position, the club's in a great position. Turn to the top, awesome, that's what it feels like. Do it again, turn to the top, awesome. Switch the hands over, try and recreate that feeling. Yep, that left arm's nice and straight, perfect. From there I can start down. So I wanted to interrupt the video to let you know that I am doing golf schools with a coach called Trevor Salzman, a tour coach. Now these golf schools are phenomenal. We have created a 2-day curriculum that is either being held in Boston or Orlando, depending on what time of year it is. So if you want to find out more information about it, check out the link down below. It's in the description. Chances are I'll be in the comments as well. Head to my website and book in to come see us for 2 days. So now let's talk about the transition all the way to impact. And really what I want to explain here is why do we see that left arm go from a straight position of the dress, straight position in the takeaway, to having 6 degrees of bend at the top and 8 degrees of bend at impact? And the reason for it is very simple. The best players in the world are pulling extremely hard down on the handle as fast and as hard as they can. Now we can prove this, and the way that we do this is by measuring the speed of the hands. At the top of the backswing, as they go from backswing to downswing, the hands have 0 miles per hour in that split second where they're changing direction. The tour pros, the best players in the world, accelerate their hands to their fastest point, roughly just below the chest. Now, not only do their hands reach a higher speed than amateurs, they also reach their peak speed faster than amateurs. So what that tells you is that they are pulling with their whole body incredibly fast down in transition. Now, when you do that, naturally, we are going to see that left arm is going to have a tiny bit of fold in there. Think about somebody throwing a frisbee. If you have a frisbee here and you want to throw that frisbee as far as you can away from you, you're not going to keep that arm straight the whole time, right? Because you're not going to be able to generate any sort of speed. Versus if you're throwing a frisbee a long way, you're going to go here. As you step, you'll see the left arm have a tiny bit of fold, and then you'll extend it all the way through. And that's why we see a little bit of soft fold in that trail arm. They're not thinking about it, it happens naturally because they're just pulling incredibly hard on the handle. Now that brings us beautifully into the release. And I love that frisbee analogy because one of the most common issues we see in the release is that the golfer gets like this, they get chicken winged. And that happens for 2 main reasons. Number one, the body stops turning. If my body stops turning, you can see how the arm has to buckle in order to finish the swing. So going back to that frisbee analogy, that's again a great analogy because if I throw a frisbee, you can see how I'm clearing my hips, I'm getting into that great position, and then I'm throwing through. So here are 2 great swing thoughts to help you with that. Well, first of all, just grab a frisbee, throw it, feel that motion. But the 2 swing thoughts I have are, number one, when you start down, you will notice that you will push into the sort of toes or ball of your left foot. Every golfer does it. Now, the best players in the world are amazing at going from the ball of the left foot into the heel as quick as possible. So the ball of the left foot into the heel. So you go ball of the left foot into the heel. The faster you do that, the easier it's going to be to turn and the more rotation you're going to get. The second key swing thought is try and get your belt buckle pointing towards the target kind of just after impact, as fast as possible. Really, for the majority of golfers, the faster you feel that, it's going to help you with a lot of rotation and it's going to give you the space to then where we can talk about the second thing, which we're now going to talk about, which is you do not have enough forearm rotation. So if you are this golfer, you are turning well, but then your arm still buckles up this way even though you've got good rotation. It's because you can't turn your forearm. So drop the club. Here's how you learn it to start with. Make a thumb up. As you can see, we've done that quite a bit today. Make a thumb up. If you turn your thumb slightly to the right, which is what we do at address, and also what sort of happens in the backswing. Now, if you were to square the club up correctly, you would have to do this motion with your forearm. We see this. External rotation is the fancy term. So they are going this way. So they go from thumb this way, thumb this way. Now, if I do that as I turn, thumb this way to thumb this way, that allows me to keep that arm nice and straight, especially in the downswing. It has that little fold. As I then do it, gets me in that straight position. Where a lot of golfers go wrong is they try and square the face up by doing that. So they extend the wrist or they extend and buckle. They do that motion. Not what we want to see. So we've got to get you better at doing this. What is the single-handed best way of training this? With just your left hand. One of the best ways of doing this. Now, if you struggle with the strength, then just grip down on the handle to start with. Right hand behind your back. Go from here, club face nice and square. Go back to here, come back nice and square, and then rotate it over. You're gonna feel like as you come through, you can get the butt end of the grip pointing down towards the golf ball, and then your follow through, it's gonna feel like it points towards the target. That's gonna get your left arm externally rotating, it's gonna get it wider, and then it can fold up nicely. So do that a couple times, left arm only. So you're gonna get it rolling over, feel like the butt end of the grip points back of the ball to target line, and at the top of the backswing, it's gonna point towards the target. So let's now piece this all together in the release. So again, I'm gonna be turning at right arm parallel, butt end of the grip points to the ball to target line, and at the top of the backswing, it's gonna feel like it points towards the target. If you do that, you're gonna get better width on the way through. So there you have it, that's how you move your left arm correctly in the golf swing. Now if you need more one-to-one help with your game or for online coaching on the Skillest platform, the link is down below. And if you have enjoyed today's video, please give it a like and subscribe, and I hope to see you back here soon.